Hello everybody and welcome to lesson 7 of our Fortnite series of lessons. We are going to today be looking at Fortnite, and we're going to be thinking about the website, and I'll talk more about the website and what you need to be doing whilst we go through the lesson. For now, though, I would like you to get your exercise books or whatever paper that you've been using for these lessons out. I'd like you to get a pen out, and I would like you to do the task that is on the screen right now, okay? On paper, without your books, without looking to your previous notes, answer the following questions. Question 2 and question 3 need full sentences, okay? These are exam-style questions. So, name one demographic for Fortnite. That's for 1 mark. You just have to name that demographic. Question 2, briefly explain why Fortnite appeals to an active audience. And question 3, briefly explain what a socializer gamer type from Bartle's taxonomy likes about Fortnite, or might like about Fortnite. Okay, and once you've done those, there's a challenge task. Do you think that Bartle's taxonomy adequately describes all types of players? Why or why not? So for that challenge, have a think about that. You don't necessarily need to write your answer down, but you do need to have a think about it and consider the question. I'll give you a little bit of time to do that. You can pause the video to do your written task. Okay, off you go. Okay, hopefully you have now completed those questions. And so here are some ideas for this. Okay. Bear with me, my computer doesn't seem to be working. There we go. So, name one demographic for Fortnite. You could name males. You could say people between 18 and 24. You could say teenage boys. This goes back to the lesson that we've done previously, where we were looking at the types of people that play Fortnite, and we identified that it is predominantly teenage boys, or it's males between 18 and 24 that play Fortnite. Okay. Question 2, briefly explain why Fortnite appeals to an active audience. Okay, so here's an answer. You don't necessarily have to go for this answer, but this is the kind of answer that would get you 2 marks out of a 2-mark question such as this. Fortnite players engage with the game through discussing it on social media, forming duos and squads with other players, creating their own content, especially on YouTube, adding and entering esports events, purchasing merchandise, etc. So they are active in their use of the game. All right, they don't just sit there and let the game wash over them. They are active in their use of the game. That's why Fortnite appeals to an active audience. And question 3, briefly explain what a socializer game type, likes about Fortnite. And this term we're taking from Bartle's taxonomy. So if you don't know what that means, you need to go back and you need to make sure that you have gone through all of the lessons that I have gone through in this series. Likes about Fortnite, and the answer, or my answer to this, is that they attend esports events run by Epic in person or online. They can game chat with other players, either opponents or in their duos or squads. They can comment on social media. They can create UGC without being penalized for copyright infringement by Epic. So there's a lot of social aspects to this game, and a socializer would really enjoy the game because of that. Okay, our title for today's lesson is Fortnite website, so make sure that you've got that written down. Also, we are going to be looking at our second set text right now. So here we've got 2 set texts, as you can see. And this is the screen that we've been looking at throughout the series. Fortnite, the game itself, is the set text, and the second set text for this series of lessons is the Fortnite website. Okay, so we're looking at the game itself, but we're also looking at the website. If you've not looked at the website yet, I would suggest that you do that now. The link is on the screen here. I will also put this link on the Show My Homework assignment so that you can access the website fairly easily. Okay, and I'm going to be looking at the website throughout this lesson, so I would recommend whilst you're watching this video that you have the website open in front of you. Now, the website that I'm looking at might be slightly different. The website constantly changes in terms of the content that's on there, but don't worry about that too much. We're going to be looking at it in a quite a general way. All right, so you've got your title there, and we've got the Fortnite website, which is what we're going to be looking at today. So our lesson is basically going to be leading up to you attempting another exam style question of 12 marks. Okay, you will notice that I'm doing this more and more, not just for Fortnite, but for all of the set text that we're looking at, that I'm going to be giving you the types of questions that you might experience in the exam itself. The reason that I'm doing this is because my current year 11s have said to me, "Sir, we wish we had done more exam stuff in year 10. Rather than just looking at the content, we wish we had looked at the kinds of questions that we are going to be asking." Okay, so the question that we're going to be looking at today is, how does the website appeal to gamers? Refer to the home page and at least one other page in your response. And this is an example of a 12-mark question that you might see in the exam in mocks or in the final exam in the summer of next year. Okay, and we're going to be looking at trying to understand your understanding of audiences. We're going to be thinking about Bartle's taxonomy and demographics, and we're going to be thinking about why they use the website. We're also going to be referring to uses and gratifications theory, and there's going to be use of subject terminology. And these are the things that I will want you to show in answering this question, this 12-mark question. Okay, so understanding of audiences, references to uses and grats, and use of subject-specific terminology. If Bartle's taxonomy, demographics, uses and gratifications are new terms to you, then you need to go back and look through the lessons. You need to catch up, basically. Okay, it is not okay for you to just come in and on this one, you need to have the prior learning. Okay, and it's very, very important that you do that. So I'm hoping that everybody's watching all of these videos as I'm putting them on Show My Homework. But it's very, very important that you get this understanding and this knowledge of Bartle's taxonomy and uses and gratifications before we go ahead with this lesson. Okay, so if you don't know what those things are, I suggest you go back now and come back when you're ready. Good, everybody's here. Excellent. So you can see now that this is a screenshot of the Fortnite website. Okay, it's the main home screen for the Fortnite website that I am going to be referring to today. Okay, it is for Fortnite Chapter 2. Okay, and it was taken a few months ago when I was starting to put these lessons together. What I would like you guys to do is look at this. If you can, I would like you to print it off. If you can't, you don't necessarily have to make the notes and the annotations, but it will help you if you print this off and make your notes around this home page. If you can't, then don't worry, you can still do that. Okay, so let's have a look at this. Here are the questions. What I want you to do is to do some annotations of this home page. Here are the questions that I want you to think about when you're annotating. What is connoted about the game from this homepage? What is connoted? What is the connotations given about the game from this homepage? So basically, what are the deeper meanings that we can have? So you've got a team here. You've got a team here. You've got a main headline here, which is in kind of a informal, cartoonish kind of a font. You've got a fort that's built there and an area around it that's built there. You've got industry in the background. I am really sorry about that. I'm really sorry about that. My kids just came home from the park, so I had to open the front door. So you probably thought, why is Mr. McGettigan gone really quiet? That's why I went really quiet. So let's get back to it. We've got I've just pointed out lots of different things. We've got roads. We've got so there's lots of things that if we look deep, we can find connotations. So I'd like you to write down some connotations about the game from this homepage. What do we learn about it? Okay, how does it appeal to the 4 gamer types from Bartle's taxonomy, and how does it appeal to potential new gamers? Okay, use these questions, annotate your copy using media language throughout, and use the questions above to help you come up with ideas. Okay, I'll let you pause the video now and you can make those annotations, and I will move on in just a few minutes. Okay, so we should be able to move on now. Okay, so here are my annotations of the front page. Okay, so we've got the use of imperative drop in the slogan. It's persuasive. So we're looking at the language here. So there's an imperative drop in the slogan. Its use of new connotes that this is something unique and exciting. Okay, so we've got this slogan, drop into a new world. Drop and new is persuasive, and it makes us feel that something is exciting and unique. Okay, we've got a high angle establishing shot to connote the vastness of the world open to players in the game. This makes the potential or the possibilities of the game seem limitless. Okay, high angle shot, we can see way off into the distance, and what we see lighthouses here, and we see cooling towers and industry over here. We've got a mountain up here. Okay, so there's a lot of potential that's shown, exciting potential that's shown in this particular shot. Okay, you don't have to sign in or join in to browse the other pages on the menu bar. So we can start exploring the game ourselves along that menu bar, and it gives us that access to the game without having to sign in or join. Okay, so it's very much teasing people into the game, this website. Okay, it's interactive. You can watch a trailer to understand the gameplay. Okay, so I'll just let you make a note of any of those notes before we move on. Okay, we're going to move on now quickly. The characters carrying weapons will appeal to killers and to achievers. So we've got characters here carrying weapons. We know that in the game you can get different kinds of weapons. You can upgrade your weapons. So the idea of upgrading, will really appeal to achievers in Bartle's taxonomy, and those killers will definitely be attracted to the different types of weaponry and the fact that there are different weapons to have. There are bright colors and attractive aesthetics very much would appeal to a certain demographic, maybe that teenage boys, those young men that that we talked about earlier in the lesson and in previous lessons. The open world will appeal to explorers, so the fact that we can explore lots of different lands in the game would appeal to that, and you can download the game for free from the website is very much kind of an attractive thing for gamers. And we can it's interactive. You can learn more about the game here. So we can see lots and lots of things within this game, within this website front page for the game. We can see lots and lots of things that we can talk about in the exam question that we're preparing for. And finally, we have a female character here, so we can see that this will appeal to both genders. We are not just because we're saying that it's mainly teenage boys and young men that are playing this game, we're not saying that they are the only target audience. Please do not be confused with that. This is not appealing to boys only. Okay, we have a female character. We can see that it is trying to appeal to a female target audience. And finally, we've got this squad of people standing together. It appeals to socializers, the idea that you can play with other people, with your friends, will appeal to socializers. So again, you can pause the video here, make a note of these annotations if you haven't got them already. Okay, so let's have a look at this image. I would like you to write a few sentences, maybe a short paragraph, answering this question. Who does this image appeal to? Give reasons with evidence. Okay. Think about the different demographics that you might think about, and think also about Bartle's taxonomy. So demographics and different aspects of Bartle's taxonomy. Write down your answer to this question now, please. Pause the video whilst you're writing. Okay, we are going to move on. Now, I think that this image is clearly appealing to females, showing women, showing young girls, showing young teenagers and young women that they are able to play the game, that they should play the game, that they are represented in the game. Okay, and remember that idea, key media idea of representation. Females are being represented here. However, we can also argue that actually this image appeals to young men, that these women are making direct contact through the use of direct address. These women are looking at the character, at the audience. These women are also relatively skinny. Maybe you could talk about body shape and female body shape that might appeal to men. Okay, so you might think about that. But there's lots of reasons why this image would appeal to both women or young women and young men. Okay, we could also think about the different colors. We could think about the fact that it's a very colorful image, might appeal to a younger audience. We might think about the fact that these images are quite comic booky. Okay, we've got vials of what looks like poison or toxic stuff that is being carried by this character. We've got a character with a baseball cap here, so maybe some Western audiences. You could think there's lots of other aspects to that, but any answer is okay as long as you're giving reasons with evidence and you're referring to demographics and Bartle's taxonomy in your answer. That's fine. Okay, so here's the question that we're looking at throughout this lesson. How does the website appeal to gamers? Now, this part of the lesson is me going through what the exam question is actually looking for. Okay, so this keyword here, how. What techniques does the website use? Do the makers of the website, the designers of the website use? Okay, what techniques do they use? We see that in the how. Okay, we've then got gamers. We're talking about audience here. Okay, so here we're talking about the techniques that the designers use, and here we're talking about audience. We're talking about demographics, we're talking about Bartle's taxonomy, and we're talking about uses and gratifications theory. Okay, we've got here the home page and at least one other page in your response. It gives you specific things to talk about. So if you just talk about the homepage, you are not doing enough here. You cannot access the top marks or even the top band if you are not talking about another page from the website in your response. Okay, so now is the bulk of the lesson. What I would like you to do is I would like you to go to the website, okay, with the exam question in mind. I've just gone through that with you. And the link is here, but it's also on the Show My Homework assignment. I would like you to, if you can, annotate screenshots, print them off, annotate them, and remember you are planning to answer this particular question. Excuse me. How does the website appeal to gamers? Refer to the homepage and at least one other page in your response. Okay, so make sure that you go onto the website, have a flick through different pages and annotate screenshots of that. Okay, it's really important that you do that. You can pause the video now whilst you do that. I would give you about 15 to 20 minutes to do this task. This is the main task of the lesson. Okay, hopefully now you have annotated some screenshots from the website and we're ready to move on. So now I would like you to spend 15 minutes answering this question. It's a 12-mark question. I would expect you to spend 15 minutes on this. I would expect you to write 2-3 large chunky paragraphs answering this question. Make sure that you're using this blue box as a kind of a checklist for the different things that you're going to be writing about. Your understanding of audiences you need to show. Talk about Bartle's taxonomy, talk about demographics. You need to refer to uses and gratifications theory, and you need to be using subject-specific terminology. Answer this question now. Okay, that's the end of this lesson now. I would like you to finish up by answering that question. I hope all of you are well. I hope all of you are staying safe. If you've got any questions, please email me, c.mcgettigan@oldfieldschool.com. And I will see you again for the next lesson in our Fortnite series. Bye-bye.